after, since Robert and I has partnered up and I've heard and watched him more, I've actually used that now pretty effectively a couple of times. That strong takeaway, and it works marvelous. But when you're in a position to do that, then you can do it, and that takes a lot of confidence to do that. So once you get there, the takeaway rocks. That's what takeaway rocks. It really does. It really does. Let's
And
see.
it's not that we're not telling you to do a takeaway, but we don't know where everybody's level of experience is. And if you are just kind of dipping your toes into this stuff and getting comfortable on the phone, the last thing you want to do, because the thing about on the phone is you shouldn't be scared of it. The more you're on the phone, and it's not like you're cold calling or anything, the more you're on the phone, the more money you're going to make, period. I could sit here and stumble through and get everything wrong on the phone, just like I'm stumbling. I mean, you guys hear me talk from every week. I stumble over every word that I speak out, right? I stumble over everything. Rick's like, you really do. So, I mean, but when I speak, when I know what I'm talking about, I still exude confidence. So it doesn't really matter. So don't worry about stumbling. Don't worry about getting everything right. Don't worry about, that stuff. Just talk to them. They're going to know that you know what the hell you're talking about just by talking to them and everything. So, Ryan, are we going to the next slide? I feel like I beat the hell out of this dead horse. I think Ryan went away for a minute. Okay, so you guys are stuck with me for a little bit. He might be having problems. He's having problems with his internet. This is the one thing that I wanted to talk. Ryan's on Facebook. Awesome. This is the one thing that I actually do need him for, because where we're talking about you need one client to explode your business. And this is basically turning your client into a referral for you.
I'm back. Didn't you get my chat message?
My chat? No, I
I
didn't.
seen a chat message says I had to pee. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, I took a tinkle. I'm back.
So professional.
I mean,
it's all good. Just explain this to them.
Yeah, sure. So go back to the slide before where let me get back where we were. I was only gone for 30 seconds. Everything went to hell for 30 seconds. Okay, so we did the close. So does everybody like to understand and get the close? You can sort of make this work for a number of things. The part about this is in the close and during the sales call, we really do a good job of separating ourselves from other companies that just, they've paid 6 months of SEO work and they've got no results. So it's like, look, you give me $1,000, I'll get started. You owe me no more money until we show you results. And local SEO is so easy. We get results within weeks. Okay, weeks. I could take $1,000 payment today from a client and then have him ranked by, sometime in under 14 days, and then hit him back up. I need our first 30 days. Go Google this keyword. Look where you're at. And then what happens is you've turned your first month into the setup and the actual first month within 2 weeks. They're not expecting that. They're not expecting these results up that quick. That's the happiest check they're going to stroke to you in their life when you call them back within days, which somebody couldn't do for months. You say, look, there it is. You're right. It's on our first page. So, yeah, exactly, Gerald. You're targeting for this, and don't confuse this close with just purely selling SEO. But yes, Gerald, we're targeting people not on the first page already. And one of the end results would market to them, and then this would be the close that was used. Now, I don't take many sales calls anymore. I have people in my company do that, but I do dust it off every once in a while and go out there. So go ahead to the next slide, Robert. So this is the thing, too, that people really have to understand, is you only need one client to really explode your business.
Hey guys, but I'm going to interrupt Ryan real quick. I know that we joke around a lot, and we pride ourselves on keeping a lot of this stuff informal and stuff and cracking jokes. But in all freaking serious, if you're not taking notes already, take notes right now. Seriously. Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, this is so. I still can't believe you didn't get my chat message. You only need one client to explode your business, and this is how, and this is why. And I've done this, and I've had students do this too. Okay. You offer a referral. Now, before I get into this, who on the call right now that has clients has a referral program in place in their business with their current clients? And if you do, what is it? What are you giving your clients, right? So Jeff says me. I want to know what it is. So is it like you get 10% of whatever, or like I pay you $20 for every referral? Okay, Jeff gives them 10% off. Anybody else? Anybody else? I do now this one. I just asked, don't give anything. Okay, I do now this one. I'm not sure what you mean this one. I do now this one. I'm not sure what you mean, Shane. How you mean the referral that I'm about to explain? Oh, yours. Awesome. Perfect. How's that working out for you? 10%. Okay, Jeff, and I'm not going to pick on you, Jeff. All right, but I am going to pick on you. Hey, 10% off. I'm the one. I'm about to pick on you straight up, Jeff. And this is not your fault or anything. It's nothing that I
It's all out of love.
It's all out of love. Okay, so Jeff, everybody on the call, Jeff says, he gives them 10% off, which first of all is cool. Okay, it's really cool. But what I figured out I was able to do, because when I sell, especially SEO, all of my services are low. Like I pay people X amount, and then I charge 5X amount or whatever case. So, but with SEO, you could really do this really well, because my maintenance costs are so low on SEO, and it's just so easy to rank people locally. So, going back to close, I closed this guy Tom. It's 2 weeks down the road. I got my first month. By the time the next month rolls up, he's going to be ranking for more words. He's getting traffic. He's getting leads from the internet. So I call him. We'll just call him Joe. Okay. So hey, Joe, I offer a very strong referral. And this all ties into what Robert talks about, like when you're checking in with people, right? Does everybody remember that? Like actually checking in with your clients. I'm sure I don't need to. Everybody should remember that. So, hey, Joe, I offer a very strong referral program.
We're going back over it in just a minute. Anyway.
Okay, cool. Okay.
But yeah.
Now, this is where the power comes in. Okay. Hey, Joe, I offer a very strong referral program. For every referral you send me that becomes a paying client, I will give you 1 month free. If you're not comfortable with free people, then 50% if you're scared of free. But this is why this works, especially if you can make these numbers make sense in your business. But I'm telling Joe, if you refer, and what did I just do for Joe? I just ranked him and sent him leads within in under 60 days, 90 days, whatever case is. He loves me. He's happily paying me every month. And then I tell him, guess what? Not only will your business continue to thrive from all of your online traffic, but if you send me a client, I will give you the month free if they pay. And this is why. Joe pays me $997 to set up, then that $497 in a couple of weeks for the 5 keyword campaign. Okay, so we're right under $1,500 in profit. Cost me about $125 to pay outsourcers. Leftover profit from Joe. I got the $1,369, which is profit from the setup in the first month, plus every 30 days I'm still getting that $497. So just under $6,000 for the year. Okay, so we can go to the next one, Robert. Now, Joe refers Landscaper Bill, because I just told him, dude, you give me somebody who wants to pay me to get you the same results, I am going to give you a month for free. Okay, so easy close because it's a referral. Landscaper Bill's like, damn, Joe, how you been getting all these jobs lately? I thought you were about to go out of business. Now you're hiring all these people, which is a true story. What's going on over there? Joe's like, oh yeah, go see my internet guy. He's not going to tell him I get $500 off a month. Easy close at a grand setup, same numbers. Okay, $497 a month, right? Same numbers, so minus the outsourcers. For every 30 days, you're still getting paid. You added almost another $6,000 a year to your business, right? And when you take out Joe's referral fee of that 1 month for free, you're still at thousands of dollars in profit. Thousands of dollars in profit. If you guys can see the math. So even though I give Joe $500 off a complete month for free, look at all the money I made. I'm not giving him this free month until I've made this other money, because I'm saying if I close and they pay me, I'm giving you a month for free. Guess what happens? Joe becomes your part-time salesman. Joe is out there trying to, and then so is Bill. Everybody is trying to tell their friends about you because they want free services. Now, I'm gonna answer some of these questions in here because I know I'm into the detail. What does outsource do for $125? Ranking for the keywords.
Yeah,
it costs about $25 a keyword.
I'm going to cut Ryan off real quick. Don't uh, don't not see the forest for the trees. How does that expression go? Don't
I
miss
have
the
no
forest
idea.
for the trees by focusing on details. This is a specific example pulled for SEO, and so for this specific example, that $125 was towards an outsourcer to do SEO for 5 terms, I think. If
Five
I'm
keywords,
Yeah,
five
five
$25 a word.
keywords.
This is about my average cost for the local keyword for me to get some
what we're
earnings.
what we're basically showing you here is that when you give people a substantial discount, right, they will become your absolute best your absolute best cheerleaders. And Rick is saying, hey, it's costing you five hundred
Nope.
dollars to make $1,500 per
Nope.
referral.
It's costing me
It's not
maybe
even.
20 bucks a month. To maintain 5 keywords cost me less than $25 a month. So
But
it
even
costs
if
me
it was
20. Yeah.
if it was costing me $500 to make $1,500 per referral, I would pay that all day long.
Yeah.
If there was a magic money machine where I can put in $500 and get 1,500 out, how many times would I put $500 into that
Right.
machine? I would be
Exactly.
standing there right now.
Look at this is what we're saying. It costs $500 to now
Okay.
bring us to 12 grand a year in adding to 12 grand, starting with the first client who referred to the referral. I'm making 12 grand for that year, and all I did was say, hey, you could have $500 off. So instead of
And
making so does that make sense? We're talking about building a business where you don't make money. Okay, let me back up. The setup cost is not designed to be your profit. I look at the setup cost is strictly you saying, I am a commodity. I can fix you. I can help you, and I cost money for that to happen. I am not a free person.
that's a
That
qualifier.
that's
That
what it is. The setup money is not to be profitable. You make profit every month. Okay, so with that in mind, when I realized that I can't. What am I going to do? I'm going to need someone to set up every month to make all this money. The setup is I use to pay my sales team. I use to pay referrals. I don't even count that as a profit. Okay, so and that's what people don't understand. They're like, I got $1,000 to set up, and it only cost me $200 to get the work done. I made $800. Woohoo! No, you didn't make. What's that monthly? That's where you're making your money. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are getting kind of lost in the details. It's
Yeah.
something like, I don't want to do SEO. It is
We
the
need to start
what we're
using
talking about
like
is the
fruits and
well,
like vegetables instead of numbers and services or something.
what do
So
they
so
get? Two
people just
avocados for a kiwi? I
to
don't
get
get
two
that. I don't think that
avocados for
would.
a kiwi. And, no, what I'm
Like
saying is
like
people.
Rick is all over this, Kevin is all over this, Arthur is all over this, Greg is
Hmm.
all over this. Jeff's
Yeah,
talking a bunch of smack to us right now, but that's
yeah,
okay.
that's fine.
But like I feel like the majority, I want to make sure that this is a crystal clear thing and that you're not missing the forest for the trees. Don't get hung up on the details. It's the process that we're trying to convey to you, that you can do this with anything,
Yep,
right? So
anything.
whatever the service is, if it's a mobile website, they pay you a setup fee or whatever. But for everything else, you know what I mean? Like they get X amount for free for whatever you're doing.
You don't
Charles
have to
says
give
it
them the
makes
whole.
good
Yeah,
sense. Betty
it makes
says
good.
it's clear because
Awesome.
you gotta realize that we gotta make sure that you guys know because unless you tell us, we don't know. So that's
Yeah.
why we're gonna beat the hell out of every dead horse that we come across, until we make it absolutely crystal clear.
And listen, guys, this exact model that I'm showing you is literally how I started how I went from not even never had ranking inside of my life to now doing within 90 days. I think we're at like 12 grand a month in revenue in under 90 days with this and all of that was a couple came in from direct mail, but all that was referral business. I mean, I had so many referrals coming in, guys. I almost lost my mind. And then look, and it's like it says right here. The down at the bottom. This is the exact quote from a client. Man, Ryan, I'm going to work part time for you. But are you kidding me? And true story, funny story about this guy actually is he's referred so many paying clients to me. He didn't owe me money until um, just a couple months ago. He's been a client for like a year and a half now, and he didn't owe me any money until a couple months ago. And he's been so used to not having to pay me that my people went after him, like, hey, you owe us money or we're going to take your links away. And he's like hitting me up like, hey, man. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you've had it free for a long time. You sent me a lot of business, but now, you're back on your monthly stuff. He's like, I'm going to fix that soon. Just don't worry about that. Now he's out looking for more people to refer me right now. So it's super powerful. It gets people motivated. It turns business owners into your sales team. I mean, straight up. And I didn't realize what I was doing at the time. It worked really well. Shane says awesome, cool. Let's see, and that one referral, and when you get 10 each month, oh hell yeah, no, you got to be careful too, guys. Like seriously, this is a really strong referral program. If your business isn't set up to take a nice influx of leads, especially with a client who's has a lot of business owner friends, like this guy does tree removals, so he referred me to some landscapers. He referred me to some concrete polishing guys. I didn't know that was a thing until then. I have like 9 to 11 clients from this one guy, and I think all his clients are still my clients. I might have fired 1 or 2 of them, but either way, this works. Okay, 1 referral each month from 1 client, free all year for him, and 18K in your pocket. Exactly. He's referred to me, Rick, literally referred to me 6 figures in revenue. And so I made 6 figures in revenue, but it cost me $6,000 for the year. Okay, $6,000 for 6 figures? Are you kidding me? It's a hell yeah. Let's see. You need more of them, so do I. Exactly.
So yeah, and we're gonna move on. And now, if there's no other questions or whatever about this, but here's a fair warning about everything we've showed you so far, and I think that a lot of people are really going to benefit by going back through this a second time, looking through the notes and everything.
This really is a lot of information. It is a lot of information.
It is, and it's more of an abstract concept than last week when it was just like this, and this, step 1, step 2. But I really want you to wrap your mind around it and base your entire business about it, because as soon as you implement this stuff into your business, and I'm saying within weeks, not really, within a few months, more like a few weeks, you are going to be at a position where you have more damn business than you can handle. Now, I'm not saying that to like pat ourselves on the back or anything. I'm saying it's going to be a problem for you if you're not doing this, being a rainmaker, and you don't have your outsourcing and everything in place. And remember, we're going to talk about outsourcing in a lot more detail next week. That's basically what we're, what the 3rd week's all about. And remember, we have a 4th week as well. Okay, so if you don't have this and you're currently inside your business doing this stuff and trying to do everything yourself, you're going to hit a brick wall to where you have way too many clients. And yes, there is such a thing as like having too much money coming in if you don't have that plan in place. Because just like when I was talking about my takeaway close, where I'm like, well, I don't even think you're staffed enough to handle all this traffic, you're going to realize that you've got way too much damn traffic. Yeah, exactly. Rick says you'll lose them all, and you will. You shoot yourself in the foot. So, and I'm not putting it out there to scare the hell out of you, but we're being real now. This is training. This is not like, a sales webinar or whatever where, I'm just, where people just toot your horn or whatever. It's just, this is being real. So this is why it's so important that you wrap your head around this stuff, because once you put this into play, I guess what I'm trying to say is, once you put this into play, the sky's the limit. Like, you have your system right now. And this is a system that works with any type of service you want to offer.
Let's not call it a system.
There's what's that?
Can we name it something different?
Anything you want. I don't care.
I like the word template. Template's better.
Template. There you go.
Because I hate the like proven system.
Yeah,
like it's a system and it's proven.
All right, let's go back through this real quick. I know a lot of you, most of you saw this already, but this is to go to your existing clients. And there's people here that have existing clients, right? I know Jeff has existing clients. I think Rick does. I think Greg does. Raise your hand. Give me a 1 or a yes if you have existing clients right now. Shane does, Rick does,
I
Danette
think
does,
most of the people on the call do,
Greg
actually.
does. Yeah,
Greg,
I think
Arthur.
most people do. Arthur
I know we
does.
had a lot of people said
Cool.
they're working on getting clients.
Now,
Good
when
job.
we went through this the first time, I know this helped out a lot of people and everything. So I want to go back through it, kind of like a speed dial kind of thing. Now, this is for your existing clients. This is if whether they came in, no matter how they came in. If they came in through a referral, if they came in through the offline legion method, if they came in through the direct mail method we just talked about, if your grandmother referred them to you, if it was like the guy from the flower shop came out and handed you his card and said he wanted a service or a new website or whatever. I don't care how you got this client. If you had them before, if they got in, if they're a brand new client, something like that, this is something you absolutely must be doing to turn them into a high-paying client. So a lot of you are already familiar with this. A lot of you are not. So we're just going to go through it fairly quickly. If you have any questions or whatever, we'll address them at the end. But this is the first. This is step one. Check in, right? It only makes sense to call these people, to get on the damn phone with them and call them. Remember, I don't like direct mail for this method. I do not like it. I like direct mail for the other method because I hate cold calling. I like warm calling, right? I like calling somebody after the fact and checking up with them and be like, hey, did you get that letter? You know what I mean? Let's do something. Or let's not do something, right? But I don't like that when I've already got them as a client, because this is not even a sales call. This is a consultation, a campaign overview, basically, is what I like to call it. So let's pick up the phone, let's call our damn client, and let's do a campaign overview, right? After, if they just came in, if they're a new client, I like to do it after about 4 weeks, right? And basically, I've been tracking everything I've done with them so far, or I have an outsourcer that tracks everything, right? I have some kind of thing to where I can show them that, hey, I just emailed this over to you, right? This spreadsheet, can you open it up real quick and let's go over this thing? Because we both are short on time. I know you're short on time, and I'm short on time, right? This does a couple of things. This proves that you give a damn about them. I'm sorry, Ryan, did I cut you off?
No. I just want to make sure that the point, because I can't remember the slides. You changed everything like 5 minutes for the call, but this is the point, guys, where we're asking for that referral that we just talked about at the end of the check-in, right? So I just want to make sure it's clear what you're doing, what Robert's telling you to do, and then at the end it ends with that okay, we're showing you all this cool stuff we've done. Look at all the analytics and how good we're doing for you. Let a friend know, and you get all this stuff for free every month.
Exactly.
You see how that works. So I was gonna make sure that was clear. Then I said, aha, we're one of the light bulbs.
2, it reiterates that what you're doing is working for them, because business owners are busy, right? And the busier they are, the more you can pat yourself on the back about them and remind them that they're busy because you made them that way, right? It reiterates that what you're doing is working for them. They might not otherwise know that, because they're thinking about 900 different things at the same time. So you have to basically wave that flag in front of them like, hey, that's because of me, dude, So when they look at your spreadsheet or whatever that you're sending over, or if they're, you're politely reminding them that they rank higher in the search engines, or that they're getting all these leads from their YouTube videos, or whatever it is, it's because of you, right? Number 3, it further establishes your expert status, because you're their expert, right? They're not telling you what to do. They're not telling you what they need. They're asking you, what do I need, right? Or they should be. And this is your way of gently leading them by the nose down that path. 4, it raises their confidence in you. The more, you guys know already that the more that you hear something, that's true, the more that it becomes real to you. Like the first time they, they, oh yeah, I know you're an expert or whatever like this, and your stuff and everything, I'm really impressed. 3 days later, they've forgotten about you, even if they did become a client or whatever. But now with these very specific timely check-ins, right, with these campaign overviews, it always reinforces that you're the expert, right? And over time, their confidence in you grows and grows and grows. And this is very, 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 very important. Like, you know, I hate to get, you know, abstract on you or anything, or psychological or whatever, but this is very, very important in drawing more money out of them. Even if they're, you know, you're getting them results and everything, this is a very helpful step in getting more money out of them, and providing them with more services that's going to in turn help their business. It's all one happy big wheel, right? 5, it raises their reliance on you for generating business for them. And this is extremely important. You want them to be reliant on you, and you want them to know that they are reliant on you. Remember that cosmetic surgery physician that I was telling you about? He damn sure knew that he was reliant on me for all of that increased business. I was in his office, and I'm not saying you have to go to their office or whatever, but I was in his office like every other week. And that was a 2.5 hour drive, something like that for me. Just because, and I'm not saying you have to do this, but that dude was paying me enough that it was worth it for me to go up there and everything. And that was just one client. One client. This is what we're really bringing home to you guys, is using these methods and everything. You don't need 100, 200, 300 clients like everybody else is out there trying to break their neck trying to get all these clients, these little tiddly cheap clients, you know, $100 a month or whatever, and not even recurring. 3 or 4 or 5 clients can make you very, very comfortable, and 10 clients can make you wealthy using these methods. Does that make sense to you guys?
Can I share something?
No, not at all. I'm on a roll.
Well, I'm going
Let's
to.
go.
Rick says, and this is more for everybody listening. It's not even for us, but Rick says we really ought to rock these ideas on Facebook. We all need to get fired up and be accountable and post what we're doing, our successes, and when we're struggling. Help is available to all. This stuff is contagious. Let's get the momentum going and make some money. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, that's the Facebook group's there. The Facebook group is not there for Robert and I. The Facebook group is there for exactly what Rick just said. I totally agree, says Ordavian.
Ordavian, you've been quiet today, dude.
You have. I didn't know you're on the call. Just crept in there. At least he
let
agrees with
me get through this real quick because I don't want
sure.
to take up too much time. It gives you the perfect opportunity to show off your packages, right? And I put that in kind of a joking way or whatever, but we already know that about the packages, and we're going to go over that as kind of a review real quick. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because we went through last week the packages, all the services that you can be offering in your packages. And remember, we're always going to be pushing them to that middle package, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. But you have to decide for yourself what kind of packages that you are comfortable with offering. But remember, the one that we're always going to be mostly pushing people towards is the one that's going to make us the most money, right? But isn't going to be our highest price package. It's going to be the one that makes us the most money, where all the services are what? Automatable, outsourceable, to where we don't have to do anything. And another thing we're going to talk about next week is when specifically to offer those higher tier packages, or the higher tier services where we actually do have to get involved. Okay, so those are the you know, we've already we're talking about all this stuff this week. Those are the 2 things that we're going to cover in more detail next week, is outsourcing and more precise pricing, and the higher price services, right? So, hey, Bob, now that we've looked over how well the lead generation package or the mobile website or the SEO package or whatever our our first package or our first service was, our initial services, right? Now we've looked over how well it's doing for you. Why don't you head over to mybusiness.com, right? Whatever your domain is, /packages, and check this out real quick. And they're going to be shown your packages, right? Now, we've already talked about this stuff, so it's a view for some of you guys. But I want to drive home the point that you've all seen this before, but this one right here, the one that we show as the best value, I like it to be about 1,000, 1,500 a month, somewhere in there. And always I like to ask for more. But it should be 1,000 to 1,500 a month, and everything on there, every line item on there should be something that is outsourceable and automatable, so you don't get involved, right? And you can have one or two over here on the left that's a little bit cheaper, but remember, everything there is outsourceable and automatable as well. So you can have, for example, you can have a 500 here, a 750 here, $1,000 here, and this one over here will be like $24.99 to start off with, and it will have one service that requires your attention, whether it be like a direct mail campaign, running Facebook ads for them, a pay-per-click campaign, or something like that. We're also going to talk next week, because not only are you going to be charging an extra at least, you know, 1,000, 1,500 bucks a month for that, you know, personalized service, but you're also going to be taking a commission off of the top of what you are getting, right? And that's, you know, that's a performance incentive for you. And that's what we're going to be talking about next week.
And one thing I want to do, and don't let me forget, Robert, because I'm going to call myself out and you. I have some marketing decks or price decks that we use in our company.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let me forget to, you know, let's get them a download, some way they can look at it.
Yeah.
Because I have these decks that basically like new people to come in, or salesmen, or people that want to refer. Yeah, I give them this marketing deck and say, this is our price. These are roundabout prices, and it breaks down everything we do. So.
And remember, in the PDF from last week's download, it has like all the services that we went through that are absolutely perfect, that are automatable and outsourceable, and also the stuff that you should be, you know, that are more personalized services that are not automatable and outsourceable. God, I really can't talk today. Somebody called me out on it. They were like, you really do stutter over everything. I'm like, yeah, I know. Can't help it. All right, so what this does is highlight services that they probably didn't know you provide, right? Gently nudges them at the package that makes you the most cash without doing any work. Is that a notion that is lost on anybody out there? I want to know right now why I'm always pushing that best value at the 1,000 or 1,500 a month and not the top one. Not the top one. Sure, you'll make more money from that one person, and it's great. If they really want it, that's fine. But we're all about snapping and popping, right?
Left too. Rick says you can go back, but not up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can go back, but not up. I don't know.
He's saying if you're pushing your most expensive stuff, you can't offer anything. You're out of things to offer up,
and plus
to value back down, which makes
it's all automated. It's all scalable. You know, you are not scalable. Outsourcers are a dime a dozen. You can find people that'll do the work.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that if I get 10 of these people right here, if I get 10 people in on this package at 1,500 bucks a month, I have over $10,000 worth of revenue, well over 10,000. Even if all my outsourcing costs $500 a piece, I would have $10,000 of revenue, of net revenue a month coming in. And if you put everything we've taught you into place so far, there's absolutely no reason you can't go out and get 10 people in the next 2 months, right? And that's, I mean, Ryan and I can go out and get 10 people in the next 2 weeks in that $1,500 package. No reason you can't. You want $10,000 worth of revenue? That is exactly how you do it.
And also, well, keep going, Robert. We'll touch on some things then.
Provides increased services that they need. Remember, we're not just selling them crap just to sell them crap, because that is, you know, that's unethical. I mean, everybody buys crap they don't need, but really, we are trying to help these businesses in a crappy economy. You know, it's basically worldwide. It's a crappy economy, right? And you're giving them a leg up. Allows you to be a rainmaker, working on your business, not in your business. I know you guys are tired of me saying that, but one day you are going to thank me for saying that over and over and over. Because if it takes me going over to your house right now, walking right behind you while you're sitting at the computer and grabbing your ear and say, work on your business and not in it, for it to drive the point home, I will do that because it's that important. It's a concept that took me several years to like have the epiphany, like, holy shit, I should not be doing this stuff. I don't want you to go through that stuff. So coming up, just like we were talking about, choosing which automated services to provide, we're going to talk about outsourcing a lot. How and when you know to provide the big tier services for that mucho dinero, and I'm pretty sure I spelled that wrong and didn't fix it. Project managers, where to find, what to pay, how to manage the managers, right? Now, this week, we're not going to have any homework. Last week, we had some homework, but I kind of felt like, what's that? I don't know if anybody did it or not, and I'm a little bit, I don't want to say disappointed or whatever, because I know that everybody's working under different time constraints. You know, no matter what, we're going to have the training out. But maybe you had something else going. Nobody ever got in touch with us and said, hey, I did this. This is what happened. I had some questions about this or whatever. But that's what we're kind of here for, and that's what the Facebook group is for. Ryan said it's for you guys to, like, network a lot, right? But we're in there too. Remember last week, last week on this training, Tiffany got in a wreck, right? She's okay. But, yeah, like I dropped that in there and everything, and I kind of sat back and watched this watch the group or whatever, and there was some interaction stuff. Some people posted some good stuff and everything, but we really want you guys to go in there and network, because you guys are the only ones that's getting this stuff right now. You're the only ones we're teaching this stuff to, so use that Facebook group to your advantage.
I love that. Greg said, just join, but we'll catch up on homework if you give partial credit for late submission.
I ain't doing nothing. Too late.
I love that Shane said, I did 40 videos in one niche across USA and Canada. 4 is already generate phone calls. I'm going to be following up. Awesome. Follow up, Shane. Commit. That's exactly right. I went and posted up some motivation in the group because Rick called you guys out. Robert, stop banging on your keyboard.
Sorry, dude. I was replying to someone.
You were almost getting muted. Let's see. Didn't realize we had to report back. Just as some videos, posted them at 11 p.m. 4 this morning. They're top page 3. Awesome. Awesome. Lead tracker jack. Yep.
Awesome. And seriously, I hope you guys realize where we're going with this. And as the further we get along in the material, a lot of times it does get abstract and it gets less specific. But it has to be that way, and that's why we give you the examples that have the numbers in them. But I say don't lose the forest for the trees. Don't get hung up on those numbers or whatever, even though the numbers work in real life. We want you to know that these concepts apply to anything or any kind of service that you're providing, any kind of niche that you're going into, any kind of business or whatever. So what we really want you to adhere to and kind of wrap your mind around is the fundamental concept of, you know, utilizing your existing clients for referral purposes and going back to your existing clientele and pushing them towards a package mold kind of deal.
This is what I want, actually. Is it okay if I make a demand?
My God, yes.
Can I make a demand? No, I'm asking. I'm not asking you.
Oh, okay.
What you think?
I was just giving you anything by this point.
I know. Is that cool, guys? Everybody on the call? Can I make a demand? Go for it. Okay. I want you guys. Who knows what Screencast-O-Matic is? Screencast-O-Matic. Ever heard that? I'm gonna drop it in here. I think it's actually just Google this. Screencast-O-Matic. It'll come up. You can use it for free. It records your screen.
I'll put it on the screen.
Okay. It records your screen. You can use it for free, or you can pony up a measly $12, $14 for the whole year. Everything that you guys are doing in your business on a daily basis, whether it's prospecting, whether you're ranking videos, whatever you're doing and you're working, what I want you to do, guys, is I want you to use Screencast-O-Matic to record yourself working. Okay, you're going to record yourself working, and it's twofold. It's a few folds, but we're going to talk to you next week. We're really going to push home outsourcing. I'm going to share a lot of my pricing that I use in my business, and I hope a lot of you go, holy shit, you asked for that much, and you get paid that. Yes, we're going to do this next week, but if you record your business processes all week, you're going to be already armed with the stuff to go hire a VA or somebody to take that part of your business from you, or Eugene does too, for pennies on the dollar, Camtasia, whatever it is you want to do. The point is, I want
Yeah,
you
if you already have
guys.
Camtasia, if you already have Jing, the reason we recommend Screencast-O-Matic is if you don't
Because
already have a solution in place. For
it's
the
free.
pro, it is $15 a freaking year.
It's
And
amazing.
like since I started using Screencast-O-Matic, I have the latest version of Camtasia. I have not even opened it just because I didn't use all the features that were in Camtasia. But I use Screencast-O-Matic all the time. We don't
Anytime.
we don't get a referral for that or anything. I don't know the
Mm-mm.
people that are behind it or anything like that.
Don't.
It's just I love it when shit is really really simple and it works really really well. And I know Jing is like that too, but I just prefer Screencast-O-Matic, and that's why.
All I want you
But if
guys to do is get
you have
used to
your own
using
solution
this.
already, then
Yeah.
by all means, whatever records the screen for you.
Whatever records the screen for you, I want you to start recording yourself. And this is two, and again, it's a few-fold. The first thing is you're going to have something to be able to pass off to someone to cheat them what you do in your business, so they can do that for you. Okay, so you have that. Not only that, you can go back and look at and watch your recording and see how much you goof off. Like if you sit down at your desk and say, "I need to go find 20 prospects," you find 3 people, and then you tinker over to Facebook, you tinker over to Twitter, you're on your favorite news website, you're looking at TMZ and who did Justin Timberlake marry this week. I couldn't tell you anything about the news. I'm so buried in my businesses. There is a link when it's free, Tony. If you pony up, it's unlimited. You can even upload it right to YouTube, save it, whatever the case is. Um, this is what we use to record our webinars too, Bernard. And it's $15 for the year, like Robert said, screencast. What I want you to do is when you're sitting down to do something, you're like, I'm going to get this done for the next 30 minutes. Record yourself doing it. Now you have a process. It's saved on your hard drive that eventually one day you're going to give to somebody. Say, I need you to do this. You can give them that. Second, you can stop yourself from goofing off, because if you know that you're recording everything to eventually one day give to somebody to work for you, which could be in a week, could be in 3, whatever you're comfortable with, you're not going to want them seeing your Facebook and Twitters and favorite TMZ and celebrity stalking, right? So can you guys, is that fair? Is that fair to you guys? Does that sound like something you can do? David says, shit, another genius move. Does this sound fair, everybody? You got it. And again, guys, this isn't for me. If you don't record your business processes for someone else, like Robert, like I say all the time, I'm gonna walk up my stairs tonight and go to sleep at some time, just the same whether you do it or not. It's not for me. This is absolutely for you guys. Okay, so cool. Yes. Okay, it's making sense. So if you at least start on that, and we can call it homework, but I'd rather just say it's Rymax demand. It's my request. Accountability sucks. That's right. Cool. All right, awesome. Let's do this because I know Robert. We're going a little bit over an hour and a half. Let's get to any questions. You want to do questions, Robert?
Yeah, definitely. If you got any questions about what we talked about this week or what we talked about last week, uh, go ahead and hit them up.
Did
I
I put that
think
over in the Facebook group?
we we beat the hell out of a dead horse for a while. But like I said, I really want you guys to get the concepts down. That it should always be in the back of your mind that when you approach a person, a prospective client, you start with the end in mind. Basically, is this a good prospect for at the very least a $1,500, $2,000 customer? If it's not, you're not just going to boot them to the you're just not going to throw them away. If you can legitimately help somebody and you can do it in an outsourceable way to where it doesn't take up any of your time, fine. You know what I mean? If somebody genuinely wants to work with you, and I know that, we kind of snicker about my takeaway thing. But most of your prospective clients, you want to make sure that they can afford you. Just like what Ryan was talking about with the retainer. Yeah, it's nice to have the money, but it's not about the money. At least not at that point. It's qualifying that business. Because look, any business that is in business and they honestly cannot afford to spend $1,000 on guaranteed lead acquisition, that's not a business you want to mess with anyway.
Mm-mm.
$1,000 is, I mean, let's be real. $1,000 is absolutely nothing when it comes to advertising
I
for your
have clients that
business.
spend
That's the
$1,000 a day.
lifeblood of your business.
Yeah, run and run fast. See, Arthur says, "Amen. It really has become evident that I need to get a lot. Let's see, I let go of a lot of the work I do since last week." Exactly, Arthur, and that's why if you just will record these processes, just record what you do, and there's so many things you can pass off and save. You know, if you're spending 2 hours a day on prospecting, say, so 10 hours a week, 14 hours a week, we do 7 days. Um, you're spending a lot of time. You're spending almost 60 hours a month on something that you could spend 70, $80 on to have someone else do and get back all of that time in your life to work on your business and do other things in your life. Um, what are you doing, Robert?
Stuff. Now I was just going to show them what it kind of looks like or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, they can see like now you can see that I use Screencast-O-Matic, even though I have Camtasia. Like you can see
Yeah. Hey,
Camtasia.
Greg, that's perfect. Greg, okay, Greg says, I know a real estate broker that spends $36,000 each month on marketing. Yes, and
Yeah.
and when I see the clients spend that, especially when I come across people that are spending that type of money, Greg, and then they're like, we're not seeing any results. This is our online. I've seen people spending that and more with the worst online presence. And like the local plumber has a better presence because one of us got to him first, and he's only spending $500 a month. You'd be surprised how many people are actually messing this up, Greg. Spending this much money with almost no return. And I always like to say this: give me 36 grand a month and watch what I'm able to do for you. These other people are idiots. If you're not making money, if you give me 36 grand a month, you're gonna make. I'm gonna make your business thrive. Okay, so off the record. Oh no, see, cool.
So I just wanted to show this to them real quick because I think that we've covered from every angle that people don't have that many questions, at least to this point. Now, when you get started on this stuff, you're gonna have questions. Hey, I'm here.
Drop them into Facebook.
Drop them into the Facebook group. That's what it's there for. I just wanted to cover this real quick. Like, you can see it's full screen, full HD, medium HD, small HD, or you can pick the size right here. You can even choose your frames per second.
I just busted 3 people on Facebook. 15. Jeff, Tony, and Wendell. You're busted.
You can do your the webcam. I have it off because nobody wants to see me. Show advanced. You can actually have it to where it just picks up the microphone, or if it picks up all the sounds on your computer, which is cool. That's what I have to have it for when I record webinars and stuff. So it's really easy. You just click this button right here, and it'll count down 3, 2, 1, and you get going. Like, it's really easy to do, and you can see that I actually made an entire product using it, which is my our free or damn close product. So.
Robert, will you go back to that screencast thing real quick one more time? Actually, you don't need to, guys. The thing where he had the webcam turned off. In your prospecting or trying to explain things to clients or potential clients, if you use screencast, turn your webcam on. Yeah. And they can see you. You can talk into the camera, and then you're also showing them your screen. This is what I was talking about when I said I sent you a referral already. See this virtual phone number right here? It's pointing to your number. This is your number right here. You can see the call went through, and that's what I meant when I said you got a referral last night. And then you have your webcam down in the corner. It makes it really personable, and they can actually see you. So screencast is great for that. I've used it for that numerous times. Tony, I was joking, you guys, because I posted up in the High Paying Clients Facebook group, and then everybody, I could see who seen it. So seen by Jeff, Tony, Wendell, and now I'm like, you're busted. And now they're making up excuses. So
Tony says that he hates using Facebook. Tony, dude, I hate Facebook too. Seriously, I don't like it either. But it's for, if you use it for what it's good for, which is, collaborating and stuff like that into that group, it works very, very well. It's better than like a Skype group or anything like that. So use it for what it's there for. Don't get hung up on what, what everybody else is doing, which is like posting cat pictures or whatever the hell else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're just going to go ahead and just about wrap it up, unless anybody has any more questions.
Do we have any
feel
save
free.
rounds? And look, also for everybody that's on this call, and since we're talking about Facebook, if you friend requested me, like send a message. Let me know you're in the high paying clients group, and then I have hundreds of friend requests. I just randomly, approve them every once in a while. So if you want to be my friend on Facebook, let me know that you did that, so that I know, and I'll friend you. Because I imagine some people, I know I've seen some people from this group friend me, and I recognize the names because you're interacting with us, but not everybody's on a call right now. So
Richard, we're going to be covering that tomorrow, buddy. Or
thank
not
you.
tomorrow,
I
but
need
in a
I
week from
needed
today.
that. Right? I
What?
need that. Rick's giving
Oh,
me compliments. Let's see it.
so Richard, we're going to be covering that when we talk about outsourcing.
Yep.
As much time as we spent on this stuff today,
Yeah.
we're going to be covering outsourcing next week because
Yep.
it's a huge thing. It's going to be such a huge and part of your business that you've got to be relying on it. And there's some helpful software
Yeah.
that'll help you out. So.
Yeah, and we're going to explain some other things I want to make sure we hit on too. Just like when you see how much it costs you to get this stuff done versus what we're telling you to charge, like a lot of people have a disconnect. They're like, well, if it only costs me a couple hundred, how am I going to charge a couple thousand? Easy. You ask for a couple thousand. But, we'll get to that point. Like, we don't want you to think that because you can outsource on a shoestring budget that you need to charge just a little bit more. And that's where a lot of people are dropping the ball.
No, and just think of it in terms of arbitrage. Everybody knows what arbitrage is. Buy low, sell high. That's all you're doing. And you're going out and to find the people that will buy high from you. So
I like what Jeff says. Drop your weight to match your Facebook picture. No more beard. Dude, I was 20 in boot camp on that picture. I think I was like 137 pounds, like soaking wet. I took that picture. See. Lead tracker, Greg, is I just started implementing that, and we actually have it up on a few sites right now, and it's been working perfectly. And I have somebody in my company right now that's going to be learning lead tracker so that I don't have to, and that they're going to manage that process. So no excuses. That's right, Jeff. That's great. It's been awesome. All right, cool.
Yeah,
so
somebody
I think
just said there's one last thing I'm going to address is somebody just said, hey, I like doing the lead tracking and lead acquisition for my clients. It's just the other stuff. If that the software and everything that you use, it's automatable enough to where you can keep a close eye on that and eventually bring somebody else on. That's fine. Just I want you to always look 3 steps ahead, and one day you're going to have somebody take care of that for you, because even something that takes up as little time as that is something that is a bottleneck in your business when you have to take care of it. So just look through the future and everything. For right now, if you're comfortable with that, that's fine. Just doing like the lead tracking and stuff, the lead generation, that's fine. But just remember that one day you are really going to want to, it's going to behoove you to have somebody taking care of that for you, whether it's somebody you bring in on a staff like in-house or a close outsourcer, something like that. So
no.
yeah, well, I'm not talking about having someone in the Philippines handle all your lead tracking stuff. Okay.
No, there are places that you can go super cheap in your business, and there's places you shouldn't go super cheap in your business, and that's one of them.
So
cool.
All right, guys. I'm gonna have the replay up in probably a few hours. So, cool, man. Jeff, love having you guys. Jeff, Danette, Rick, Tony,
Kevin,
everybody. So we'll see you in the Facebook group. Give us a shout and get to work on this stuff. You got any questions? Y'all talk amongst yourselves in the Facebook group. We'll be dropping in. We usually check Facebook at least 1 or 2 times a day, so I'll drop in there.
Or good morning, rather.
See you guys later.
Later. All right. Talk later, guys.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be